Some of Princess Diana's most famous pieces of fashion weren't her gowns or her tiaras or luscious rich jewellery, but actually her knitwear. Unlike many royal wardrobes, Diana's wardrobe wasn't just filled with these luxury designers. It was filled with knitwear pieces from relatively small British knitwear brands. And I think this helped create the image of the People's Princess because her fashion felt attainable, it felt relatable, it felt less intimidating than what the public were used to seeing from the royal family, which were often kind of very expensive and regal looks. And within the 1980s, her fashion became iconic because of her knitwear, and many of the Gen Z fashion trends today echo this. A lot of them are baggy sweaters, bright colours, like very equestrian horse riding vibes. So today we are going to go through some of Diana's most iconic pieces of knitwear and kind of explore how her knitwear became a kind of visual timeline of her like personal growth within the royal family and within her life. So starting off strong, one of Princess Diana's most iconic pieces of knitwear was, of course, the sheep sweater. And one of the reasons why this became so iconic is because of where she was in her life at that time. So to give you a bit of context, so in June of 1981, Princess Diana was 19. She wasn't a princess then, she was Diana Spencer, or Lady Diana Spencer. She was engaged to Prince Charles then, but they weren't married. So she was at this polo event to kind of see him play, I guess. And she steps out of the car and she's not wearing like very royal attire. She's just wearing this simple red and white sweater. Otis, that's rude. My cat's just knocked something off my fucking kitchen counter. Diana would enter the royal family when she was married to Prince Charles a month later on the 29th of July 1981. The royal family had rules of etiquette. They had rules that you had to follow. One of the main rules for women at that point, and men, but I think it was probably mostly directed at women, was what you wore and how this would kind of speak to people. So the rule was that you weren't allowed to wear anything that would take away from your royal duties or anything that would kind of cause controversy. And while Diana never really kind of broke this rule, she skated on the line because her fashion became kind of a symbol of how she was feeling. You know, we only need to look at the revenge dress to know how kind of intelligent and how smart she was at utilizing fashion as a message. Fucking icon. But why was this sweater so important? It's just cunt. No, I'm joking. It is important. So the red and white jumper, it looks very innocent until you kind of understand the meaning behind it. So at that point in her life, she's 19. She's about to be married off to a then 32-year-old Prince Charles, I think. That's not even the worst thing. You know, they met when she was 16 and he was 29. That's weird. I'm just saying that's a bit weird. But anyway, so the jumper looks very kind of innocent. It just has sheeps on, red and white sheeps. It's only until you see the black sheep in the center that it kind of becomes apparent. And it's not entirely known if Diana deliberately wore this to kind of, you know, show the press that she was kind of the black sheep. When the press saw her wearing this outfit, it kind of drummed up a lot of talk on whether she did it deliberately, because Diana always felt like the black sheep of the royal family. She always felt othered.
You'll ever be queen?
No, I don't. No.
Why do you think that?
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts. But I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into, because they've decided that I'm a non-starter.
Why do you think they've decided that?
Because I do things differently. Because I don't go by a rule book. Because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people.
The royal family is a institution that has been around for generations, and it's well known that the royal family don't necessarily like outsiders. And while Diana was from a kind of very prestige and well-off family, but she would never actually be a royal in their eyes because she was an outsider. I think one of the main things that the press actually kind of latched onto is the fact that she wasn't wearing like traditional royal attire. She wasn't dressed in a gown or a, you know, stuffy kind of suit thing. She was wearing something very kind of middle class, very kind of normal, you know, a sweater and jeans that are super normal. And people kind of latched onto that. People were like, oh shit, she's different. She's not like them other ones. This is what kind of started to get her a lot of attention because she was such a breath of fresh air within the royal family. And the sweater was made by a relatively small British knitwear company called Warm and Wonderful. And it was worn by Diana so much that in 1983, the palace actually sent the designers the sweater back for a repair because the cuff on one of the sleeves had started to kind of come apart. They basically just sent her a new one because it was a lot easier than actually getting it repaired. And the original sweater actually was found a few years ago by the designers, and I'm not even joking at this point, but it went on to be auctioned off for £1.1 million. People have too much money. People literally have too much money. And I found this interesting quote that says, kind of explains why this was so important. So it says, quote, "When you're a royal, you have access to any fashion you could possibly want. She didn't need that sweater. She didn't need to replace it. It's not Chanel. It's not custom. Not only did she want it replaced, but 2 years later, she actually wore it. It's a true, beloved article of clothing worn by a young woman who in the years to come would come to revere and utilize fashion with surgical skill, but also to have fun with it." And this second wearing that he talks about was in 1963, so probably a few months after she sent it from repair. And I think this is interesting because her sending the jumper for repair kind of gives me the thought that she pre-planned to wear it again, and the second time she wore it was more iconic than the first, let's just say, because at this point her marriage is already kind of, it's not, you know, it's not the greatest, let's just say. And you know, I think at that time there were already rumors that it wasn't great, and she steps out of the car and she looks even more iconic. Like, you can kind of tell by looking at the two photos side by side the difference in her growth. She looks so much more confident. She looks like a woman that is doing it to send a message. And you could even say, like, even with the black bow that she's paired with it in the second photograph, it kind of draws the eye more to the black sheep, and it's like, yeah, I'm the black sheep. And I think she was kind of reveling in it. She was just like, yeah, whatever, I'm the black sheep, we're gonna do about it. And I fucking love that.
And we first see her wearing it when she goes to the polo. She's engaged to Prince Charles, and in the picture she's quite shy. She's not performing for the cameras, and she has this little tiny collar poking out the top of the black sheep jumper, and she's wearing jeans. She's very casual. And interestingly, this rowing blazers design she then rewears 2 years later.
And you can very much tell that there has been a shift between the two pictures. In the second image, she's standing straighter, she's kind of looking at the camera, and the jumper obviously has a black sheep on it. So I think the first time she wore it, it was obviously just, she found it was a cute jumper, wasn't thinking anything about it. The second time, the jumper is slightly different, so we don't actually know what happened between the two, if she lost weight or just lost it. And the sheep is actually facing a different direction to the white sheep. And she was also wearing a white shirt underneath with a black bow that sort of points to the black sheep. And a lot of people were saying that it was a statement at the time because there were already a few arguments with Prince Charles. She was considered a bit of a rebel. She didn't want to follow all the rules in the family. So it sort of symbolised her being the black sheep of the royal family.
I think when talking about Princess Diana, it's very easy to remember all of their iconic gowns like the revenge dress, but it's so easily forgotten that she commanded the British press and the world press by just wearing knitwear. And I don't think anyone else can say that. Like, she was just that incredible that she could just wear a fucking knit sweater and be front page news. This leads me on to one of my, I think this is my favorite Princess Diana knitwear, because it's fucking gorgeous. I want it. Where is the photo? Because I need some references, because I'm stupid and I can't remember anything. Keep an eye on her, she rubs yarn. I'm watching you, we're all watching you, Maggie. So we're gonna talk about the llama. So this is, out of all of the photographs with her knitwear, I don't like it when she does that. Yeah, so out of all the photographs of her wearing knitwear, I think this was the most, I want to say the most important, because there's so many signs here that suggest deliberate kind of forethought into, you know, what she wanted to kind of send as a message. Words, yeah. So she's wearing this kind of pink, it looks kind of Fair Isle, and it's got llamas on it. It's stunning. Apparently she bought this from a shop herself, which she just went in and she was like, I like that. And again, it's not really the sweater itself, but it's the kind of look of it, I guess. It looks deliberately childlike. It looks very innocent and just like, yeah, like something a child would pick out. And I think with her being 19 at the time and standing next to this 32-year-old cretin next to her that looks like her dad, it just feels like she deliberately did it to be like, I'm still a child. Why am I marrying a 30-something-year-old man that is like got sausage fingers? I just, that is what I think every time I see this photograph. And even with her hair, it's very, you know, it's not like styled. She's not wearing loads of makeup. She's wearing very kind of casual clothes. And I think with the background of the photograph as well, it's like in this drab, I think she's in Balmoral, which is in Scotland at this time. And she sat there against this like dreary weather. And she's literally like a beacon of innocence, because everywhere, like he's just wearing brown shit and she's just wearing this like pink, like gorgeous sweater that's just like innocence. And I think it's just so clever from her, and it's really nice. There's also another photograph from her. I think this is around the same time, but I'm not entirely sure. But there's a photograph of her and it always makes me laugh, because she stood in a creek trying to fish, and she's wearing this like really kind of baggy jumper that looks amazing. I think she's wearing like fingerless gloves as well. She's like, I'm a country wife, but she looks so awkward when she's like fishing. You can kind of tell that it looks put on. It looks like she's trying to convey this image of being a kind of country person where it's not selling it, love. Maybe this photograph was taken when she didn't have kind of full control of her environment, so it looks a bit weird. She didn't have her full powers on show, but I think it's funny. So there's a few photographs of her wearing cardigans, and this seems to be a lot later in life when she's had children, and she kind of becomes this figure of motherhood. She's wearing very kind of like boxy, kind of flowy cardigans. She's wearing a lot of skirts and a lot of like, I think colours that do draw the eye, but not in the same way. She's not trying to come across as this like innocent 19-year-old. She's trying to come across as like this mother figure of kind of, I'm trying to art school this again. I don't know, okay? I'm not into fashion. I don't know how to analyze fashion, but this is just what I see when I see the photograph. Like, it's just like motherhood. She does look like George Michael there though, let's be fair. She's so iconic. Anyway, anywho, back to it. But kind of any sort of knitwear she wears is so kind of, it just screams personality to me. And whenever I see photographs of the royal family wearing knitwear, it doesn't convey the same emotions. It always, like when you see the royals at like Balmoral and they're all doing these like photographs of them all like sat down wearing fucking like, they're wearing like very drab colours, like dark greens, which I love a dark green, like browns, which is fine, but I think it's interesting how it doesn't convey the same emotion. Like, whenever Diana wears a knitted jumper, the world stops. The world is like, people's princess, she's a queen, like literally. When the royals wear it, it kind of brings up themes of like classism and like rich people and like culty members. I don't know, like they all look like very like culty members, but also kind of, it's just not relatable. You know, they're all like fucking riding horses and playing polo and shit. Like, that's not something the everyday person relates to. And I know Diana wasn't a working class person, but she didn't need to be, and I don't think she was trying to kind of be that. She was just trying to be her. And I think as someone who was othered by the royal family, who was like, felt like an outsider, we saw that as a people. And I think that's one of the reasons why we relate to her so much, because we were like, they don't want you, we'll have you. The gays, we took her. Happy Pride Month. Oh, do you remember when she shook that AIDS patient's hand? Chills, honestly. So why do you think that Diana utilised knitwear in this way? And do you think it was a kind of a skilled, deliberately kind of controlled like image? Because obviously she had designers, she had, you know, people that were trying to construct her image. But I think the more you tried to construct Diana's image, the more she resisted. And as knitwear is an inherently kind of working class trait and a working class skill, I think it was probably very smart of her to utilize knitwear in that way. To be like, you know, I'm from a very affluent family. You know, I have so much power and so much, you know, money. And I'm going to kind of wear these gowns, these jumpers, to be like, I see you, I relate to you. You know, I'm not this kind of rich, snobby kind of woman that people want me to be. And, you know, even with the fact that she would talk to people and kind of show people affection and show people that she was human, I think the knitwear kind of helped kind of grow that angle of kind of warmth and humanity in a way. I sound so smart. No, you don't, Matthew. Oh, but Diana represented what the modern monarchy should have been. It should have been this kind of warm, affectionate and understanding person. And I think when you look at like Prince Harry and Prince William, I don't fucking know, they have definitely carried this trend on of, you know, having this kind of openness. I do think though, what she called Kate Middleton, I think she's looked at Diana and been like, you, but I'm going to try and make it better. And she just doesn't do it. Like, I've seen her wearing knitwear and I'm like, Diana did it first. Like, why are you trying to copy her? That's just me anyway. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my kind of deep dive into Princess Diana's sweaters. She's like the only royal family that I actually like, and it's such a shame that she's dead. Like, imagine if she was alive now, she'd be on Drag Race. She'd be on Drag Race UK. She'd be like, she'd have a fashion line. What a waste. What a waste. Anyway, if you like this video, please comment and like. If you like this video, like it, please, because it will really help push the video into more audience members. I feel like I can't speak today, I swear to God. But yeah, if you like the video, YouTube will push it out more and I'll get more friends. So please, if you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee, which is always greatly appreciated. Or you become a member, because I started a sad knitting subscription tier thing, where if you join, you get access to early videos and some exclusive videos that I'm filming for my special people. And there's also a lot of cool things coming that I'm thinking about doing, but you know, I need the fans first. There is actually a video already posted that is exclusive, so if you want to check that out. If you made it to the end of this video, drop a yarn ball and comment your favourite Princess Diana sweater. Anyway, see you later. Hope you have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't.